I've been with Vxceed for a couple of years, and 2 years to be precise. And I lead marketing here. So there's a bunch of things we do, right? Customer outreach, a new business outreach. Of course, most important are our existing clients, right? And people like you are the ones who, make us what we are. You contribute to our success, and we respect that. We believe that great growth comes from existing clients, right? So I've been in the advertising business for the longest. I've spent close to 30 years, 32 years in advertising, right? Side of the table. So obviously client management, client relations, and how important that is. And that's really where I come from. That's the kind of background that I have. So I did look up your LinkedIn profile. That's what everybody does. And I was kind of curious to figure out what you did, and very importantly, so I have a lot of friends in the Philippines, my former colleagues. So a lot of them, because I used to be part of the network, the regional network. So we used to kind of meet conferences and so on. So I was curious to know how Catherine became Aieen. So if you can, if you can, give us a background of that, and then we will start talking business.
Oh no, it's really more on when I was a kid. My sister, when I was born, my sister was just 2 or 3 years old. My nickname is supposed to be Karen. Karen. So from Catherine, so just Karen. And my sister couldn't pronounce Karen well. Her name is
Right. So that's a very interesting background. Aieen, you're coming in kind of frozen. Are we okay?
I think my connection, well, you froze a little.
Yeah, you.
Can you get that? Were you able to
I
get?
think. Yeah, I think we're okay now. So we're okay. So yeah. So very interesting story, and it always happens. It happens with our uh, friends. And my uh, son's nickname or home name came out of how my daughter couldn't pronounce his name, and so so
The
yeah. So it
same story.
happens in all families, and that's fascinating. Yeah. So yeah, lovely. Yeah. So should we sort of get started about how we want to go about this, Aieen? Is that okay with you? Should I?
Yeah. I saw the questions that you shared, so we can start with that.
Sure. So I just want to understand, just to get a context, uh, what just walk me through, please, about what your commercial sales operations look like today, and what you and your team are responsible for on a day-to-day basis. So, I
Yes.
know you're like leading a large team, and all of that, but if you can just give us a sense of what you do, what you're responsible for.
I'm leading the commercial excellence team. In fact, in Mega, this was only new when I came in. Because the commercial excellence is the one that bridges sales and marketing.
Hmm?
So that's why it's actually in the middle of all the planning, of all the execution. So under the commercial excellence or your channel development, category development team, as well as the sales support team, sales operations and support team, short support group, and also the capability side. So those are the teams that are under me. And For the sales side, it's really part of so we have the modern trade team, which is in charge of the modern channels, basically your supermarket, your big format stores. There's also the general trade. The general trade, mostly for the downline channels, your for Philippines is sari-sari store or mom and pops in your term, sari-sari stores, your public market stores, and also some local key accounts, which are currently not part of the modern trade. So it's still a supermarket, but those are the independent chains. The one for modern trade are your national key accounts. Now, for commercial excellence, our role is really on providing the strategy, one, and also developing the plans, the programs, and also providing support, the total support to the sales team so that they won't have to worry anymore other items except for selling.
Right, right.
So that's it. That's
So,
the
so
real term of on that one.
yeah, lovely. I mean, that's a very, very clear way of defining what you do and how you go about it. So, uh, typically, how does uh, a typical day on the ground look like for you and your team? What parts of the operation are critical for you right now?
It's execution metrics. These are all the execution metrics. What we have right now is a standard availability, visibility, and activation. So those are the items that's very, at least in the top score that we have for my team, which is the AVA score, or availability, visibility, and activation. And we won't be able to deliver that or measure that if we don't have the right system in place.
Right, right. So obviously, then there is a system, there are metrics, there are measurements. So in the overall RTM operations, uh, what are the areas that you personally keep the closest eye on? So, I'm sure you're looking at it with a microscope.
So, well, particularly on the execution side is the AVA, availability, visibility, and activation. And but on the performance side, the business performance side, there are a lot of items there like your sell in, sell out, or your SCT or SIV in other companies. The consistent monitoring and that, and also on the part of an execution like your unique buying outlets or UBA, your average, pass fee, productivity, call productivity. Those are the items that are right now very important, critical in our operations, because those items should be as an execution metric. Those are your lead and lag measures, right? So your lag measures is your SIV or SCT or your sell in, sell out. Your lead measures are all those metrics that needs to be measured, which is your productivity, your UBA, or etc. So those are the items. And also on the routines that we are executing with our sales team. Really teaching the team on the proper selling, etc. So those are the items that can actually lead to your lag measures. So those are at least the items that part of our scorecard right now.
Right. So AVA, that's something new for me. And thank you for
Ah,
sort of
in
pointing it out. Yeah, I learned something. So,
uh, yes, in Coke it's called RED, right execution daily.
mhm.
In Nestle, I think it's also AVA. That's how they measure it also in Nestle.
So
And
I'm
I
sure it's best practices,
hmm,
set by most companies, right?
hmm,
Yeah, but it's a great metric to have. It's a great, dipstick sort of thing to have.
hmm,
So there are very clear parameters, availability, visibility, attribution, and it's
hmm,
it's a nice thing. It's not many. It's just three very, very critical uh, measurement areas, as it
yeah.
were.
Mm.
Yeah. So, uh, you know, so having said all of this, at this stage where we are today, uh, where is Mega in a stage of growth? And how would you describe the stage of growth that Mega is, especially from a sales and distribution perspective?
Sales wise, we're at least about for this year is about we're about a high single digit growth for our organic growth. With the new product or new acquisition, low double digit growth. So that's the at least the peg that we have. Uh in terms of the size of business, we're still not part of the top 20 of the Philippines. We're not part of that, but we are long to be there. That's a growth plan of the company, diversifying portfolio as well as, of course, growing our current portfolio. So that's a growth plan. And yeah, what was the other question?
From a distribution perspective, yeah.
Yeah, so on Mega, and also part of our really the strategy of the company is really on the um digital transformation. So what I really love, because I joined only last year, so I am not 2 years. I'm not yet 2 years, so probably 1 year and 9 months. But I
Nice.
joined the company. One of the best things about Mega and about the vision of the CEO is really the Mega business system. So they are, well, the at least the Execom, the owners are really very keen on technology.
Right, right. Yeah.
So the best possible way is really okay. We have the Mega business system, but a smaller project on that is a sales business system, because everything is stemmed around that sales business system. That's your
Right,
revenue
right.
drive. So
Correct.
that's a,
That's where the business comes out of, right? Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So getting that right is very critical for the company. The
Oh,
SBS, yes.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I think you nailed it. You know, you said you said exactly what probably everybody says. You know, sales is what brings in revenue. So the sales systems and sales technology is what most uh, businesses sort of
Yep.
want to focus on, right? So, having said this, having understood a bit of the kind of growth that you Mega's hitting in terms of, like you said, in some cases, uh, high single digits, in some cases, low double digits. That's a good trajectory. That's a good path to be on. So I'm just trying to sort of roll back a little bit in time. Uh, just let's say a year and a half ago. Uh, if you think back to that time, uh, and it's before we came on board, were there any specific areas of bottlenecks that your sales and distribution teams were running into?
Information availability.
Hmm. And that
That's
is
the main,
priceless.
yes. So it's really that it's information availability, and the type of information that's going to be available
Mhm.
to really analyze the business.
Right, right, right.
So that's
So
that
did
that's
things
the
slow down because of this, Ain? Did the lack of visibility and lack of information availability slow down the pace of business?
it's more on the in-depth analysis.
Hmm.
Right, because right now, okay, Mega is very traditional before this. When I came in, it's on the um, it's trying to become more professional, but yet you're still in the traditional term. And what we are only seeing are some of the items in the previews that are very basic. Like for example, the AVA that I mentioned cannot be measured by the old system, and it will
Right,
require really investment and time from their
right,
end
right.
to get that data. So the thing that
Right.
I'm envisioning on really professionalizing how we do things is also on measuring the execution on trade. Uh that's the main challenge that I have seen
Right,
upon enter.
right.
Um
So,
those information that yeah,
yeah. No,
your
I hear
question.
you. I hear you.
You
Please go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
so it really more on number one is in the information. Number two is on the type of data. Number three is on the timing. Number four is on the collaboration with the previous previous with the previous. So those are the things I'm already just listening in, observing. This is not a partition one. These are not the data. We've already listed down a few items, but um after doing the few items, still not working. So
Aieen, you're coming in
I was on
broken.
something like that. Okay. Is it okay now?
No, I said you came in broken. Your network sort of, I lost the last 5, 10 seconds of what you said.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, a little better.
A little better. Okay. It's more on when I came in, the current setup is not what I envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
So we need something new.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and by the time it's up on the renewal, so that's the reason why we have to review and different suppliers that will actually deliver what we want.
Right. So, if I'm hearing you right, at some point you said we need to modernize our process, we need to move the needle on technology, and like you said, we need to evaluate, excuse me, multiple vendors and some solutions. So
Hmm.
that is when I think the whole process started playing out,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So, so, so when you started evaluating solutions, uh, what were the non-negotiables for you? What were the must-haves that capabilities? So this is the general question. Uh, so what did you look for? What were you
um,
looking for? Or what was the company looking for?
there were a few items. We have a list of actually of checklists. We have a checklist
All
of
right,
the things that we want
right,
to
right.
see. So I don't recall it anymore. But
Fair enough. Fair point. Yeah. So it is a
have a
checklist.
checklist, a list of a really a checklist, a long list of
Right.
checklists, the things that we want. And my SBS manager back then was he entered Mega, was part of Unilever. You've seen my LinkedIn, I was part of Coke before.
Right. Right.
So I know the metrics, I know what's supposed to be in the system because I was also one of the assessors back when I was with Coke, but more on the merchandising part.
You're coming in broken, Aieen.
This is the one to
Sorry to interrupt. You're coming in broken.
There.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
It's, it's better now. Sorry to keep bothering you
Okay.
about the connectivity, but
In
just
here.
sort of that we don't lose what you're saying.
Where was I? So
Yeah,
there's
we
a
spoke
list.
about checklists.
Yeah, we have checklists, and also coming from the experience that we have. One person, my SDS manager back then used to work for Unilever. So he was exposed to also we've seen Vxceed before. Um on my part, I know the metrics that's needed for a solution like this. I came from Coke, and I know and the things that I need to know, and really analyzing the general trade or the downline data came from that. We've seen the different vendors, just the proposal of different vendors. So the capabilities that's being shown, somewhat okay, actually, somewhat the same, not exactly the same. There are different capabilities on different vendors. Okay. But what made us really think about, number one is the cost. So really consider it's really about the cost. It's I think we've had 2 to 3 months of back and forth on that cost, because Mega will really go for the lowest cost possible because we are a small company. Number one. Number two is really on the capability. More on the capability. The, uh, my thoughts back then is that the other vendors are just starting in we're just starting in the Philippines and doesn't have the experience yet of handling some multinationals. Okay, while Vxceed already handled Unilever and Coke. Coke was just starting then here in the Philippines, but handled Coke globally. Some of the what our thoughts back then, if the cost is okay, is within our standard, within our standard, we go for the most the vendor that has the most capability, because
Right, right,
the think tank of the multinationals like Unilever and Coke is already integrated in the system. Why will we need to start from scratch?
But I have another question to add to that. So we spoke of capabilities, we spoke of costs, we spoke of, a lot of these measurable things. But to me personally, like I said, I come from an advertising background, and relationships with clients matter. How important is chemistry? The culture of the organization, the relationships that build, that the teams build with uh, you. How important would that be uh, from your point of view, or from Mega's point of view?
For me, it's very important on the partnership, because we're here for long term. We
Hmm?
don't just choose partner um just for a few years or so. If the partnership turns sour, at the last point, or it's like what happened in our last vendor. Towards the latter part, it's turning a little um having more friction. If
Right, right.
having the collaboration, having that chemistry, having that for us is really more on the collaboration. You're easy to work with, right?
Right, right.
We may have demands that are okay, that's fair. That needs to be that's for us. It's really about
Left.
Another cut again in the network.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I ended with for me it's a very used term, the win-win relationship can be achieved if both parties really collaborate well.
I mean, I think by now you would have understood, but I think at Vxceed, we have a very, very, client-centric, customer-centric culture. And yeah, there is technology, there is innovation, there are, the hard numbers, the measurements, and all of that. But I think over and above all of that is the fact that we put in a lot of uh, emphasis. We lay a lot of emphasis on building a synergy with, a client culture and build that long-term chemistry, long-term relationship. And like you rightly said, it's a win-win approach, and it
Yep.
pays off in the long run.
What I really like when we were doing the negotiation back then is that your president, your CEO, I think, really went to our office here in the Philippines.
Yep, yep. They came in from New Zealand, and
We're closing in, when we're close to closing in the deal already. He came in. So yes, I think it's that, and also the really the close collaboration with my SBS manager back then. With I forgot his name before COVID. COVID, there's another person. Where when we are finalizing the all the things that we need to um do candidates we have.
I think I lost you over the last 10
Yes,
seconds,
okay.
15 seconds.
I
Sorry,
am
sorry.
very okay. Where was I? So it's really more on the collaboration towards the latter part. And really now, on the collaboration between when we were executing. So it's really the field support, the hands-on support that the team is actually giving my team. Hello, you can hear me?
Of course, I can hear you. Thank you. It is. Yeah. So, like in all rollouts, uh, from the initial collaboration to going live, uh, I know, it's a bit of a bumpy sort of journey, but how would you describe the whole process, if I may ask you? So the market
Okay.
visits, training.
Uh, yeah. It was a little bumpy during the execution because we didn't have enough time to really execute uh because we are ending our contract back then with the previews within 3 months. So we had to really fast track or expedite the whole thing. So from the pilot to the rollout to the execution, we only had 3 months. And to the rollout to the rest of the RDs, required us also investing in additional associate, project-based associates for us to be able to roll out it well. And we started with the basic. Right now we were asking for a lot of enhancements that we needed, we wanted. And it's really more on the enhancements that I'm actually having some some complaints on the enhancements that we are requesting. So on how to fast track those requests that we have. on the development side. But
So that is valuable.
so
So I will take this back as a positive feedback and share it. Yeah. Aieen, I'm sorry you've frozen again.
uh,
Network, I think. Aieen.
hello, you're
Yes,
freezing
Aieen.
actually. My end.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, is there a is there a general network issue in the Philippines?
My Wi-Fi is okay. It's full signal from my end, so I don't know why.
So maybe when you're giving
I'll stop
us
my I'll stop my video.
no, maybe when you're giving us negative feedback or improvements, the networks uses to
Yeah,
freeze.
it's enhancements. I need fast track response on the enhancements. Number two is well, you already have a representative here in the Philippines where when uh it came from Mega as well. She came from Mega as well.
Yes, I heard Govind said about that.
So at least we already have someone who can actually who understands our business already because she came from us. So that's
Yeah.
a one. But the delay on having that person is actually quite um taxing also for us that time the delay because of the time difference and also on the fast tracking. Well, the current team is handling is okay, but it could be improved with someone coming from here in Philippines. Yes, so
Definitely,
that's
definitely. That's very valuable. That's very valuable feedback. Thank you very much for that. Uh, I mean, it's noted, recorded. I will take this back to Anupam and Cyril and have a conversation with them because it's not very often that we get to speak candidly, right?
mm,
Openly, and I'm so grateful that you've brought this up because sometimes these things can just sort of not come to light. So I'm just very, very happy to hear this, that yes, things are good, but things can always be improved, right? And I think as an organization, we believe that there's constant improvement, there's always room to improve and strengthen our relationship with our clients. That's what we're here for, right?
mm,
It's like you said, it's not a one-off thing, and we believe that your success will lead to our success, right? So just a couple more questions, and I think we'll be sort of done. Uh, so like you said, yes, there are a lot of positive changes, but is there any particular thing that you want to point out in terms of, like you said, information visibility, uh, overall, from a salesman's perspective or from a distributor and operations perspective? Is there any improvement in terms of control, information visibility, uh, salesman, execution visits?
yeah.
Uh,
Number one on the execution portion. On the execution portion in the using the UX from the sales perspective, it's easier to navigate compared to the previews. That's the number one feedback. For some, they find it too advanced.
okay.
For some, they find it too advanced. But yes, the UX is actually very friendly. Number that's the one. From a information perspective, we were able to really build that at least for the AVA monitoring, we already have it in place. So we were able to utilize the data that we're getting using the surveys to have it implemented. We're building right now the execution standard for distributors, which a lot of the data that we have here um, is very useful. The other one is on the really the automation of the whole system and being having the data available on real time. That's one. What we're currently exploring right now is it's really the DMS, at least the basic one, which we really want the our distributor to use exclusively for mega business, because a lot of our distributors are of course multi-line, and they also have the same system, their own system, but we really wanted to have them use our DMS so that it's going to be a flawless uh point to point connection of the data.
It's
Yeah.
well integrated. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that's where we are at this point, where we are really fast tracking the implementation and cascade to the RDs by come January, during a NASCOM. So that it's going to be a really fully integrated system. The other item that we will have is really connecting our system, mega system, to the DMS, so that the orders are flow through, because we are in DMI anyway. So so that the system, and you just need to audit it once in a while in terms of physical inventory. So that's where we are right now. So far, the team is happy with the current availability of that with Lighthouse, and also availability of the DMS. But again, it can still be improved. We are requesting for some improvements in this one, which the team will work with your team on.
Sure, sure, sure. So that's the future, and that's where we want to go with
Mm.
you. And just one last question, Aieen, if you were to, you know, explain this partnership, right, to let's say another another person or a peer in another company in the Philippines, how would you describe your experience with us?
One
Uh,
positive and collaborative.
right, right.
So that's
And
the main words. But don't worry, I've already recommended you to one company which was successfully launched already with Fearless.
yep, and
So
I
that's
think we're
why
talking with them.
with Fearless,
That's
I'm looking for a discount on that one, on some of the items, some of the features. And there's another one which I talked with yesterday with Silka. You
sure.
are, I
Thank you
think,
so much.
also you are also, I think, the one of the vendors with Silka, and you're fighting with another vendor. And I told them already our experience with you guys. So, and I have to tell you again, you need to give us the discount. We're giving you more business.
So that I will leave to Govind. You can find you can you know,
We're
but
giving you
yeah, yeah.
additional business. Okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your time. It's been such a valuable conversation. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you, your family, and everybody at Mega a very, very wonderful festive season and a great new year, Ain. More success for
You-
you all. Thank you very much. And I will stay in touch with you. I will connect
yes.
with you on LinkedIn. uh, and I will email you as well. But do reach out if you need any help just remember we're all there, right? There
Yep.
is Govind, there is the team, but in case there's anything else that you like for, Vxceed to support you with, we're all there to help you. And like I said, this is a long-term thing, and we value our relationship. We believe in this long-term relationship. So thank you very much, A, for your business, B, for your time today, and also for referring us to so many other customers. Right? Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome. Okay.
Thank
Same to
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
festive
Bye-bye. Have a
season.
great evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.